Your grandfather probably got a gold watch when he retired. Not a Rolex, something simpler, engraved with his name and 25 years of service. It sat in a velvet box on his dresser, a physical reminder that loyalty meant something. That world, it's dead, buried right alongside typewriter ribbons and 3 martini lunches. Today's gold watch tradition has been melted down and sold for scrap. And the culprit isn't inflation or smartwatches. It's the simple economics of the modern workplace, where staying loyal to your employer is like volunteering to take a pay cut every single year you don't leave. Look, the Bureau of Labor Statistics tells us that 29% of American workers have been with their current employer for over a decade. Sounds respectable, right? Until you peek behind the curtain and realize most of these lifers are baby boomers counting down to retirement, clinging to pensions that no longer exist for anyone else. For everyone else, the median tenure sits at just over 4 years. But here's where it gets painful. Research consistently shows that employees who stay with one company for more than 2 years earn roughly 50% less than their job-hopping peers. Read that again. 50%. And that gap doesn't narrow for loyalty, it widens. When you strip out the executives and C-suite members who distort the averages with their golden parachutes and stock options, the picture for regular employees becomes even bleaker. Your dedication gets rewarded with a pizza party, while your replacement gets your salary plus 20%. Now you'd think companies would fight this exodus, right? Replacing an employee costs a fortune. Tens of thousands in recruitment fees, advertising budgets, interview time, onboarding processes, training investments, and the productivity black hole that follows while someone learns the ropes. Doing this every 2 years should be financial suicide. Yet here we are, in a corporate landscape where companies treat employee turnover like changing oil, routine maintenance rather than catastrophic failure. Why? Because 5 seismic shifts in how business operates have fundamentally rewritten the rules of employment. And if you want to survive in this new reality, you need to understand exactly what changed. Check the classifieds from 1985 and compare them to today. Where are the switchboard operators, the travel agents, the video store managers? They vanished, replaced by automated phone systems, algorithms, and streaming services. Meanwhile, DevOps engineers and social media strategists, jobs that didn't even exist 20 years ago, are pulling down 6-figure salaries. Here's a fun fact. The most popular career aspiration among today's children is YouTuber. Go back to 1995 and ask someone what that means, and they'd probably assume it involved some very specific type of plumbing work. Technology creates and destroys jobs at whiplash speed. That bookkeeper who spent 15 years mastering ledgers, she discovers she could triple her income by pivoting to digital marketing. The factory supervisor realizes his expertise is worth nothing against a robot that never calls in sick. Both bail. Average tenure plummets. And this cuts both ways. Workers jump ship chasing emerging opportunities, while companies shed roles that software can handle for pennies on the dollar. The result is a labor market in constant flux, where career paths resemble whitewater rapids more than escalators. But it gets worse. Educational credentials used to be rare. A college degree opened doors. Now, graduation rates have soared, flooding the market with qualified candidates willing to work for less than their experienced counterparts. And companies have learned to exploit this abundance ruthlessly. If you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to bring you quality content on the market. The Big Four accounting firms perfected this model into an art form. Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, and EY run these prestigious graduate programs that pay mediocre salaries while extracting brutal hours. Everyone knows the deal. Sacrifice 2 years of your youth for a resume line that launches your real career somewhere else. Deloitte's internal reports show annual turnover around 13%, costing them $427 million yearly in hiring and training expenses alone. Sounds disastrous, right? Except it's not. It's calculated. The firms get cheap labor to bill out at premium rates. The graduates get credibility. And the companies that eventually hire these battle-tested survivors, they get employees who arrive pre-trained, pre-screened, and loaded with competitive intelligence. And that last part deserves emphasis. When a KPMG consultant who spent 2 years embedded in pharmaceutical clients jumps to Johnson & Johnson, they bring inside knowledge of how the industry operates. We're not talking corporate espionage here, just practical insights like GlaxoSmithKline saved millions using this expense software that prove immediately valuable. Competitors become unwitting training grounds. Then you've got globalization demolishing the local hiring pool. Entry-level positions now advertise globally, especially in our remote work era. Why limit yourself to candidates within commuting distance when you can access skilled workers from dozens of countries? Offshore service centers and skilled immigration programs mean companies can cherry-pick from a practically infinite supply of qualified applicants. The leverage once held by local workers, scarcity, has evaporated. Someone in Manila or Mumbai will do your job for a fraction of the cost, often with equal or better credentials. This dynamic extends beyond offshoring. The talent poaching game between competitors has become normalized. Why nurture homegrown expertise when you can simply hire it away from your rival, gaining both a skilled employee and denying that skill to someone else? Here's another thing that's killing loyalty. Picture a senior manager who retires after 30 years. The company promotes a floor manager to fill the gap, then elevates a project manager to replace the floor manager, then bumps up a senior associate. 4 promotions. 4 people glowing with pride about climbing the ladder. Sounds ideal, right? Until you realize what actually happened. The company now has 4 people simultaneously learning new roles at 4 different levels of seniority. Learning curves exist. Projects stall. Decisions slow. Institutional knowledge gets fractured as everyone scrambles to master unfamiliar responsibilities. Meanwhile, the competitor that simply hired an experienced external candidate for the senior manager role, they're operating at full speed on day 1, while poaching talent and avoiding the internal chaos entirely. The traditional corporate ladder assumed you'd learn each rung before climbing to the next. Modern businesses discovered it's faster and cheaper to hire people who've already climbed that ladder somewhere else. Your loyalty becomes their competitive disadvantage. And then there's the standardization of everything. Remember when changing jobs meant learning entirely new systems? Those days are extinct. Walk into any office and you'll find the same tools: Outlook for email, Excel for spreadsheets, Salesforce for customer management, Slack for communication. Software standardization has made workers interchangeable in ways previous generations couldn't imagine. An intern armed with Excel can now produce in an afternoon what required a team of bookkeepers working for weeks in 1990. More importantly, that intern can walk into any company and start producing immediately because every company uses the same software. Onboarding shrinks from weeks to, "You've used Salesforce before? Here's your client list. Start calling." The bank manager role shows this transformation perfectly. 40 years ago, being a bank manager meant prestige rivaling doctors and lawyers. These were professionals who evaluated loan applications using deep knowledge of local economies, business operations, and community relationships. Their judgment determined which businesses survived. Today, bank managers are glorified customer service representatives. Loan decisions get made by offshore credit departments running algorithms. The relationship building that once required years to develop matters less than knowing how to navigate corporate software. Replacing a 1980s bank manager required finding someone with institutional knowledge and community connections. Replacing a 2025 bank manager requires posting on Indeed and selecting from dozens of identical resumes. Now look, this all sounds grim. The death of stability, the end of career-long relationships, the transformation of workers into disposable assets. But here's the thing, there's a strange liberation in this new reality. The old system was built on a comfortable lie: work hard, stay loyal, and the company will take care of you. Millions of workers believed that lie right up until their family-oriented employer laid them off to boost quarterly earnings. The gold watch was always a con, a trinket exchanged for years of suppressed wages and missed opportunities. Today's workplace strips away that pretense. Companies openly admit they'll use you until something better comes along. So here's the only honest response: use them right back until something better comes along for you. The data screams this truth. Job hoppers earn dramatically more. The only path up involves jumping between corporate ladders, not climbing a single one. Staying put doesn't demonstrate loyalty. It demonstrates you don't understand how the game works. So play it. Keep your LinkedIn profile polished. Accept every training and certification your employer offers. They're paying for your next job's qualifications. Network aggressively inside and outside your company. When recruiters call, listen. When better offers materialize, take them without guilt. Your employer isn't a family. It's a transaction. They buy your labor at the lowest price you'll accept. You sell that labor to the highest bidder. That's not cynicism, it's clarity. The workers who thrive in this environment treat their careers like venture capitalists treat investments. Diversify your skills, maximize your returns, cut your losses quickly. Every job is temporary. Every company is a stepping stone. Loyalty is something you reserve for people who actually know your name. Now, I should mention, this analysis focuses on full-time employees, which means we're only seeing part of the picture. Factor in the exploding gig economy and casualized workforce, and the situation becomes even more precarious. Uber drivers, DoorDash couriers, freelance designers, millions now work without any pretense of loyalty from either side. That deserves its own examination. We also haven't touched the proliferation of what some call bullshit jobs, service-oriented, meeting-heavy email forwarding positions that produce nothing tangible. These roles have less staying power than traditional operational work, adding another layer of instability to modern careers. But here's the bottom line. The gold watch is dead. Corporate loyalty is dead. The 40-year career is dead. Good. These deaths clear away comforting delusions that trapped workers in situations that slowly impoverished them. The new reality is harsher but more honest. You're on your own, competing in a global marketplace where your skills determine your value and your willingness to move determines your income. The workers who prosper won't be the ones pining for a past that never really existed. They'll be the ones who recognize that in a world where companies show no loyalty, demanding loyalty in return is just asking to be exploited. Your career is a series of transactions. Make sure you're getting paid what you're worth. And if you're not, someone else will pay it. You just have to have the courage to ask. The gold watch was never the reward. Freedom was. We just forgot to claim it. At Market Media, your opinion matters to us. Share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.